All right, all praise, glory, and honor is most certainly due to the Most High Elohim of the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I want to say peace to each and every one of you in the name of His Son, Yehoshua HaMashiach, who we know as Jesus the Christ. It's always a blessing each and every time that I can come before you to bring a message contained in His Word, and never do I count it as a light thing to do so. I will be brief. I wanted to discuss something that I saw recently. It was a video, and I don't know if this person. Um, I'm assuming the person was a Christian, and they were saying that this individual was saying that he was critiquing Israelites, and he was saying that they're like Islam, or they're like Muslims in a way in which they uphold, like, the instead of upholding God more so they uphold Muhammad. And he was saying that Israelites uphold being Israel over Christ. And he talked about different aspects of the gospel, and it had me thinking, and I hate to say it, but he's right, to a degree. As I always say, you being Israel is not the gospel. Even though that people call that the truth, it may be the truth. It may be a historical fact. It may be the fulfillment of prophecy that these people were cast into slavery via slave ships, as it is prophesied in Deuteronomy 28. That doesn't mean that that is the gospel truth. Okay. It is important to know who Israel is. I also say, if you don't know who Israel is, you can't really understand much of the Bible. Nevertheless, what even trumps that is the gospel, because the gospel is about salvation. See, you cannot know who Israel is and still be saved from eternal damnation. But if you don't know the gospel, if you don't understand that, if you don't obey that, you're in trouble. It's simply that, you're in trouble. And most Israelites that you see, some of the largest groups of Israelites that you see, they do not know the gospel. So now I just want to read something here, because it's important to know Israel. But let's go to John, the 8th chapter, and I want to point something out here. Now, notice what Christ, because this is who's bringing salvation, is Christ. It needs to be much more focused on Him. But this is John, the 8th chapter, and notice what he said. It says in verse 31, then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So now what was the truth? He said, you need to continue my word, you need to follow me. He says, now notice what they said. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? But you are slave to sin, knowing the consequences of it. And see, so now you automatically, what did they do? They went ethnic, they went lineage, they went, hey, look at who begot who. We be Abraham's seed. Notice what he said. Jesus answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committed sin is the servant of sin. And you serve sin, right? If you are a slave to sin, your wage or your payment for that sin is death. The wage of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord. That's what we read in Romans. He said, and the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place in you. So now he said, I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Jesus saith unto them, if ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham. Abraham operated in faith. And you, I talked about yesterday, you are a child of his when you are operating in faith. That goes beyond your nationality. He didn't say because you are Hebrew, now you go had his covenant. No, he didn't say that. He was operating a certain way. He came out of false worship. He operated in faith. When the Lord told him to do something, he did it because he believed. And when you operate like him, you are Abraham's seed. But notice this. He said, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now ye seek to kill me, and a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. Then he says something else, because this goes beyond. This is spiritual. He said, ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, meaning spiritually, now we are all his offspring, but everybody not serving him. It's just like you could be a wife, but if you ain't operating in the role of a wife, are you a wife? It's just like if you're a husband, you ain't operating in the role of a husband, are you a husband? You may be, but you're not, if you understand. It's like a parent. They like somebody can say, yeah, that's my mom over there. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, but I don't know her. Why not? She wasn't in my life. She was out there drugging and prostituting herself. I never saw her. But I saw her 3 times in my life. I'm not talking about myself personally. I'm just saying, if somebody said that, is that person who birthed them their mother? Yes, that's their mother, but their mother ain't operating as a mother. And then somebody stepped in the role of that and say, yeah, my auntie raised me. I call her mama. That ain't your physical, your literal mama. You didn't come out of her womb, but she operated as your mama. So you can be of Israel, but if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, what thus saith the Lord, that doesn't matter. So they try to take solace in the fact that they were Israelites, that they were of Abraham. And he said, ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. Verse 42. Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came out of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Then he tells them who their father is. He said, ye are of your father, the devil. And the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So now you of Abraham, but the Lord Christ, Yehoshua or Jesus said, you are of your father, the devil, even though you be Abraham's seed. So it's important to be, again, I talked about what was given to Israel. What advantage does have the Jew? What profit is there of circumcision? Much chiefly in every way, for unto them were committed the oracles of God. He tells you in John also, he told the woman at the well, salvation, you worship, you know not what we know, we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. You have to do what was given unto them. But if you are a Jew, if you are an Israelite, if you are a Hebrew, if you are Abraham's lineage, and you don't do what he said to do in his word, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. That's what people need to realize. It is not you being Israel alone. That is not the gospel. It is important to know, but it is not the gospel. Let's go to one more place. We're in Matthew the 8th chapter. Peace to everybody that's listening. Matthew the 8th chapter. Matthew 8. And I want to point this out here, because notice what the Lord said here. This is Matthew 8 and verse 5. It says, and when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home, sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus said unto him, I will come and heal him. Now, who he's talking to is not an Israelite. I know some Israelites try to say he is, because they got to make everybody Israelite. They got to go into the epistles of Paul and make all these people Israelites, other lost tribes. You know why they got to do that? Because they saying other people can't be saved. So they have to twist what the word says. They have to take it out of context. When he's telling you, he told you, go into all the world, preach the gospel to every creature. Well, see, world doesn't mean world. Then you're going to Paul quoting European philosophers and scholars in his epistles, and then he talked about, this is what y'all believe, and then he said, well, you got to just lie. Just like even with that, the irony is they saying nobody else can be saved, but then when they show you these bogus charts about who Israel is, see these Mexicans, that's this person. You see these Haitians, you need to stop lying. That's what you need to do. So, and then a lot of the people you claiming to be Israel on the chart are not Israelites by blood, but then you say other nations can't be saved, but the people on the chart not Israel. Many of them. And then further irony is that it doesn't matter when it comes to salvation if they do what was given to Israel. And the tragedy is that you stand on street corners and you tell people of other nations that they can't be saved. People need the gospel. There is none righteous, no, not one. If Christ, or rather, if you can't be saved, if you're of another nation, because you're of another nation, well, why is it that the Israelites can be saved, but they sin just like you? That will make him a respecter of persons. See, he's not like you. The Most High is not like you. The Lord is not like you. He's not a respecter of persons. So he said here, so now the centurion said, I am not worthy. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. So he haven't found, and when you read further in context, you understand that he's talking about this person of another nation is exhibiting more faith. If you have a question, go to question and answer. He said, which is on Wednesday, is on Thursday, Friday night, excuse me. Friday night, that's when question and answer is. Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great a faith, no, not in Israel. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. Now, who is this coming from the east and the west? That's of other nations. And you notice because the context, verse 12, but the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Who are the children of the kingdom? That's saying you're going to have some people like this one here of other nations that exhibit great faith. They're going to be saved. And you're going to have some of Israel, those ones that received lively oracles, that are of the seed or lineage of Abraham, and they're going to be cast into the lake of fire. Christ already told some that they were of their father, the devil. So, brothers and sisters, being Israel is important, but you need to make sure you understand the gospel. And with that, brothers and sisters, it's always my prayer that you will edify.